So far, it's going to be some great racing. It's pretty much two contenders right now going for the championship.
Yeah, the Johnny Walker and Tristan Hart have set themselves out apart before we talked about that before, but boy, those two look really good. Johnny Walker, 2 seconds faster than anybody else in practice. Then it was Tristan Hart. Even Cody Webb was up there, which was cool to see.
A lot of different names. Hainsey got up there and got in the top 5 on that Fantic too, so you never know what you're going to see out here at EnduroCross. Earlier today, Max Gersten took a lap around with a camera mounted to his chest right here, and we had to take a look at the racetrack.
Preview, round 4.
Calling the shots for us.
Yeah, I think he's trying to take my job here. This is pretty nice.
That's right up the start. They're not allowed to jump that double right up the start, but that's what they'll be doing later on. Here's some logs laid sideways in a corner. How hard is that obstacle?
That's going to be technical, and same thing this rock section. You're going to see a lot of guys struggling through this.
Wet and chunky.
Wet and chunky. It was wet. It was right after they worked on the racetrack. Doubling a couple of logs right here, is that going to be the quickest way around?
Yeah, that is going to be, but they're going to open that door. In this section, you're going to see a lot of riders struggling through that. You got to hit that sidewall into the rock or the logs section up here on the uphill. And now this is where there's going to be some passing opportunities right here.
Him and Hart were the only ones that did that in practice.
Correct, but you can see how much it pushed them back. But this is one thing this is a dreaded firewood section that is down to the cement. It's wet, and it's going to probably dry up at least, so it makes it a little bit better. But this is going to be a great course. This is a nice little, I did a little Bubba scrub there. That was good, Max.
What a cool track.
And there's 4 different lines right there. There's quite a few different lines.
Here is the race format for tonight. The first race of the night is the expert class. We'll take the top 6 finishers out of their destry. They will start in the back of Pro Moto number 1.
Yeah, they're taking, like you said, 6 riders. There's already 10 in. There's going to be a 16 in that Pro main. And I believe there's 18 riders maybe even trying to qualify into those 6 spots.
The pro riders will race 3 motos. The first moto will be how they line up after the hot laps. We have some amateur main events mixed in Pro Moto number 1, and when they come back for Pro Moto number 2, they invert the field, and the last race of the night is Pro Moto number 3. How you finish Moto number 2 is how you start Pro Moto number 3. The bikes are lining up in the gate right now. It's getting ready to start. You can see the smoke is still clearing, and here is the road to the podium. Again, the expert class, top 6 from that main event go to the back row of Pro Moto number 1. They are not in the hot lap session because they're starting the back. The hot laps is pretty cool. It's 1 rider at a time.
Yeah, the hot laps are my favorite, but this is definitely an LCQ, which is what we're going to be watching here. So you're going to see some carnage. The track's probably at the wettest point it's going to be all night, so that means the obstacles are going to be a lot more slippery than it is as the night goes on.
It is going to be a great night of racing here. 3 motos, 6 minutes each plus 1 lap, and then we add the points. The lowest points at the end of the night gets the overall win.
Yeah, it's basically like Olympic scoring. So if you're finished with 3 points, guess what? You won all 3 motos. So everybody's trying to get those lowest scores, especially in between that Moto 2, where it's the reverse grid, which is the biggest one for these top guys.
And it paid off for Ryder LeBlanc last weekend or 2 weeks ago, as he got to the front the fastest. He's the only one that has beat Hart and Walker so far. Will we have a new winner in any moto here tonight?
And definitely possible. It was a lot of really good riders here, and I could definitely see that happening.
Getting set to go with the expert main event. That's coming up in just a moment out here in Redmond, Oregon. It is beautiful up here.
Yes, this weather, the people, the crowd's awesome here, so it's nice.
All right, before we get started with our expert main event, let's throw it to the 3rd member of our crew. She'll be breaking down all the information down there on the racetrack and on the podium. Here's Erica.
The firewood pit is back here for round 4, and it's sure to take some names. As the races progress, this section changes lap by lap as the wood moves. But I want to bring you along with me down to the end of this section. An extra twist here this weekend, as on exit, riders will be faced with this large log, bringing them to an abrupt stop, derailing any momentum that they had gained in the wood. A few reasons it makes it extra difficult. The first being the height of this log. The second being the fact that it sits on top of cement. When coated with dirt and moisture, makes it as slick as ice. To make matters even worse for riders, I hear we're in for a special surprise for Moto 3. Where I'm standing will be filled with water.
What a tough obstacle that is going to be.
Wow.
I can't wait to see that.
I don't know if even the pros know that. That's going to be a big one. So it's going to be slippery, but it's going to be carnage.
In the gate, we have our expert main event. We'll take the top 6 finishers to the back row of Pro Moto number 1. They are locked and loaded in the IRC starting gate. The 30-second board is up. It's already time to go. You got Ty Collins on the 6. You have 21, Brody Waddell. Sweeten's out there. James Flynn, the 55. Our points leader, Mark Fernandez from Barcelona. It's time to go racing in Redmond. Here we go. The 6 grabbing the whole shot. That's Ty Collins.
Yeah, on the 2-stroke in that log, they're not able to jump this double. We talked about it in the track preview. The first lap, you'll see most of these guys jumping. That's the one section they could actually relax.
Here they come up to the Rocky Mountain Rock Garden for the first time. It's uphill, and then you kind of jump off there with a couple of logs side by side.
Yeah, and this is where I was telling you, like, look how much he's having to set up. That's going to be a great opportunity to pass, but right now I think people are just feeling themselves out early on.
Going up the tire stack, then down the matrix, and here they come up to that new obstacle, the log wall, and then a really tight right-hander right here.
Yeah, and that log wall with those logs sitting sideways, you can see those guys cross-rutting, basically going up.
The 6 in the lead, that is Ty Collins. He is from Phoenix, Arizona, up and over the progressive finish line. Lap 1 going in the books right now. This one is 4 minutes plus 1 lap. Again, keep in mind, the top 6 will move on. He comes up a little bit short on that tire stack.
Yeah, but this is the Ty Collins I've seen plenty of. We talked about jumping that little OJ, but that's okay. He's a phenomenal rider. He's been racing EnduroCross for a while, took a break, so it's good to see him back out there and looking more like himself right now.
He lost his momentum going through the rock guard right there. He's on a TM motorcycle, and he is one of the taller riders. No surprise, he's in the lead of this one.
And then we have RPM rider Jaden Donners. He's riding really well. He's made a couple mains. He's been looking good and figuring EnduroCross out more and more. Again, the big thing here is just to be standing as much as possible.
Why do you want to stand up?
We're lower center of gravity, weighting the pegs. Basically, we're able to hinge around on that motorcycle versus sitting down, which is what you'll see a lot of the other guys doing, and more top heavy. Like, that was a nice little wheel tap there. He just looks fluid. Like, Ty Collins just has a flow going right now.
Second place rider Jaden Danners takes a look over his shoulder in the air. That's the best chance to do that if you want to look back.
Yeah, I don't like to look back too often. The one thing about the EnduroCross, we have like 180s. Like right here, this is a perfect time for Collins to kind of just peak. And maybe that's not even necessarily the best corner, but that's where I'm going to kind of see where I'm at if I can't see what my mechanic's doing. But I'm focusing on ahead more than I'm focusing on behind me.
Definitely easier to be running second. Jaden Danners can see the leader and see how far and see how hard he has to charge. He lost a little bit of time right there in that left hand.
Yeah, but you see how Donners, he went farther wide across that log. You know, he didn't have to set up as much, but then he was able to stay easier, farther away where the gap is a lot easier to get over.
Good old lap traffic right here. It's still Ty Collins out in front on the 6 bike on the TM. The second place rider's closing the gap. Here comes Jaden Donners.
Yeah, and I see Collins there made a little mistake, but we have a new leader. Yes,
there
I like
you go.
this.
All
and
right.
These guys have a nice gap. I think both of these two are smart enough that they don't necessarily need to worry about hitting each other. They're going to be, I would worry about 5th, 6th, 7th position because they're only taking the top 6 in.
Look at him wheelie over that one log lane right there. That was smooth.
Yeah, and that's what you want to be doing right now. This has got to be a warm-up for these guys. If you're confident you're going to make it in, I'm going to find some different lines and make sure I make it in. But look at the nice lead they have over Petrie, Fernandez, Flynn, and then Coleman Johnson's in the 6th spot.
About a minute left plus 1 lap to go. When that clock expires, they throw the white flag, and man, it goes by so quick. For us up here, how does it feel when you're out there?
It does not feel quick because I guarantee you their heart rate is high and they have arm pump and there's nowhere to relax. So we talk about jumping. That is the one time you can take a deep breath or even relax your arm grip because there's a lot of times we're on the ground. We're always working. We're always pulling and pushing.
Pretty big lead already now for Jaden Donners after he got by 1 lap ago. Ty Collins remains in second. Here comes third and fourth. Third is Petrie on the 99. Fourth right now is Fernandez. He's on the Rieju, and he's from Barcelona.
Yeah, he's been making all the mains. It's neat to see him over here. I always love to see the Europeans make it over to the States. Same thing with Americans heading over there, racing the Super Enduros at the FIM series.
Piazza has moved into the 6th position. As we take a look back through the field right now, this is actually the 55 and 56. Fernandez on the 56. James Flynn on the 55, and there's traffic all around him. It looks like they caught up to Collins on the 6 bike. Collins going backwards.
There's a 4-way battle for a second position right here. Even Fernandez making a little bit of a mistake.
Time is winding down out here. Our expert final. The top 6 positions are so important. The 99 of Petrie has moved now into the 2nd position. There's logs actually flying out of the firewood pit right there.
And there'll be a line that'll start developing that they're going to kind of try to stay in. But again, the logs itself are going to move. They're going to be so inconsistent. And as Erica said, down to the cement, which is going to give you no traction to get your front end up over that last little log.
White flag is out. Final lap of our expert final. Again, top 6 is what we're looking for as we're keeping an eye on Jaden Donners right now. He's securely in second place. The leader, Donners is the leader. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, he's got a 7-second lead, so he's pretty comfortable. Again, watch him hit the sidewall. That's what I've seen. So many guys trying to jump in between the crack or even the hole, and I'm like, just get your rear wheel on that sidewall and not be aggressive to where there's throttle control. And if you get too hard, your tire's going to spin.
Last lap, last corner. Here comes the big firewood pit. Keep your momentum going, then a big abrupt hit right there to that log.
Yeah, he had a nice little look back, but that's really cool to see Jaden Donners get this win there, and you can see how pumped he is for that.
Donners your winner. He's definitely moving on. Here comes the rest of the field. Looks like Petrie will end up second on the 99. Third across the line, maybe the 56 of Fernandez. So Fernandez moves up to third, and it appears that the 6 of Ty Collins is slipped back a little bit. Ty just now going across the line in fourth.
And that's a nice one. Piazza, hopefully Piazza, he does finish fifth. He's been riding really well. It's good. This is his first year in there. James Flynn, a very talented rider, has a nice finish with Coleman Johnson at the end. Coleman Johnson, sorry.
Yeah, Coleman Johnson does not make the main event. Here is the results. Jaden Donners taking the win. Petrie second. Look at that. KTM, Beta, Riejun, your top 3. Ty Collins does make it in. Nico Piazza on the Husqvarna is fifth. And your final transfer is James Flynn on the Beta. That is it for expert main event. Now over to Erica with our winner.
Just dropped the hammer from there, really tried to push, and I got a lot of support with my training back home. My buddy Evan here with the Outlier Athlete, we've been working on intensity, and I just said I was going to put my head down and go.
And it certainly paid off for you. A job well done here in Expert Maine.
Expert final is in the books. Up next when we come back, our Pro Hot Laps right when we return.
Gotta have a lucky charm when you ride, right? Makes you feel safe and protected out there.
That's why I never leave home without a photo of the little ones.
Bracelet from my husband.
Oh, Lucky Rabbit's foot.
Lucky rabbit named Swoot. It's Swedish.
That's a whole rabbit.
Named Swoot.
Well, there's really no need for a lucky charm when you ride.
Not when America's #1 motorcycle insurance got your back.
We're just gonna ignore the fact that Carl has a rabbit.
Named Swoot.
At Slavens Racing, we don't chase trends. We chase trails. Testing and tuning with the same parts we carry. Every product we touch is built to go the distance. Slavens Racing. Real riders, real performance.
More than 50 years, Kicker has been rocking the planet on anything that moves. Kicker, the legacy continues.
At Slavens Racing, we don't chase trends. We chase trails. Testing and tuning with the same parts we carry. Every product we touch is built to go the distance. Slavens Racing. Real riders, real performance.
The 2025 AMA EnduroCross Series is brought to you by Progressive Insurance, EnduroCross's official insurance sponsor and America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Kicker Performance Audio. Music. We live and breathe it and make it kick. And by Acerbis, the leader in aftermarket motocross plastics, bike protection, and accessories. Welcome back to Slavens Racing AMA EnduroCross Series presented by Progressive Insurance. Up next, it'll be time for our Pro Hot Laps, one rider at a time, starting with 10th place in the point standings, working our way up to our points leader.
Oh, this was always my favorite when I raced the series. I love the hot lap. I'm not an attention kind of guy, but when all the focus is on you and you have to be mentally strong, thinking about the sections before you get to them, and you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Up first will be the rider sitting in 10th in the point standings. It's the 575 Nick Thompson from Goshen, Utah. He's riding KTM, and he is 37 years of age.
Yeah, he's one of our oldest guys. He took the last 2 seasons, had some injuries. So it's nice to see him back out here and even being in the top 10, which is a huge feat.
It's also fun for the riders to go out there, and it's fun for the crowd because they can hear the bikes, when you let off the gas. When you're grabbing too much gas, they can hear everything that goes on.
Oh, you feel the energy of this crowd. Like every stadium, something I would feel was them cheering you on. And look at Nick Thompson actually looking at sections. He already knows where he wants to go, so he's kind of feeling it out. He's kind of a veteran, of course, being 37, but looking, seeing if anything's changed because they haven't seen this track since they were out there at day practice, I should say.
The clock will start when he hits that progressive finish line. There's a transponder loop right there at the top of that hill.
Yeah, and the one thing you'll probably see is some of these guys just jump into the face and not necessarily worrying about getting over the double.
So the clock has started for the 575 Nick Thompson. It is good to see him in the top 10.
He's been riding really well and really consistent this year. He's always had speed, but just had some bad injuries.
Trying to stay smooth. This is kind of like a rhythm section right here, jumping over the big tire stack. And then this corner looks hard to me with all those poles laid down around that corner.
Yeah, because you don't want to have a lot of weight on your front end where it's going to push because they're at an angle. Oh! That was nice. I haven't seen too many guys do that, so that was really impressive. And now those other 9 that are sitting there watching on the gate, they're like, well, I guess I'm going to have to try that one.
Well, we'll see if it becomes faster or slower because he got shot up pretty high into the air. Up and over the log wall, now into the very tight right-hander. This is the final corner, possibly the toughest part of the racetrack as they get into the firewood pit.
You can see he did a great job at carrying momentum through that, but that's going to be the most one that's going to be the inconsistent, I guess.
Across the finish line, 50.086, a little bit off of the quick time earlier today in practice. I think we got down to the 43s.
Yeah, but again, it's a lot more wet right now. Earlier on, during day qualifying or day practice, it was definitely drier, so they were a lot more aggressive. The dirt here is phenomenal.
Looks like the 96 is coming up next. He's actually sitting 8th in the point standing. So, again, when the rider's up there, that's how they're going to go. So it looks like the 96 is coming up. They call him Texas Timopole, but he is – oh, no, there he goes. Okay, I was going to say we skipped one. There's the 53. Braxton Hinsey is on the racetrack. He is actually from Utah. He's on the Factory Fantic USA. So the clock has already started. So he slid by the cameraman.
Yeah, and he's one of the younger ones out there. And last year – really stepped it up. First year on the 2-stroke, and I wanted to see how he was going to do, but it looks really good. He was 5th fastest in practice, so he was riding really well.
Would you like to be on a 2-stroke nowadays, or would you like a 4-stroke?
I like the 4-strokes. Again, that's a nice job setting up. And we talked about, look how he uses his hips. He pivots that bike around. That was a nice job. He used his rear end on that tire to bunny hop so he doesn't drop in that hole.
We were with his rider coach and mechanic earlier today, and when he threw that 5th place time in practice, they were pumped up about it.
We heard him in the stands, and that was a cool thing, and that's good energy for you, too.
Coming across the finish line will be quick enough to take the top spot. It is 47.706, 47.706. That's a pretty quick time.
And Braxton Hinsey and Nick Thompson, they actually live really close together and practice a lot, so they probably enjoyed that, maybe a little trash talking, and that's a good angle that you can see that uphill log wall. So it's abrupt, and there's a lot of lines. If you get cross-rutted, you're going to see a lot of guys going down on that.
You can see Texas Tim grabbing his breath right now. Timopole from Germany. He's headed up there right now. He is on the Beta Factory USA motorcycle, revving it up, getting set to go, pumping himself up a little bit.
Yeah, and this is where I'm taking a deep breath. Couple deep breaths, focus on positive thoughts, and you'll see some guys tripling. You see how he had a pause to step on, step off? Those other guys are going to be jumping over that whole section.
Not too bad so far over that first obstacle after the finish line. Puts it down the front end over here. Now headed to the rhythm section. The double. Head up the big double right here. Didn't quite flat land it as far as Braxton did.
The thing is these bikes aren't set up for jumping. Like, they're set up for rocks, logs. They have a softer setup, and trying to jump the flat land, or if you don't downside it, is really abrupt.
The double right there in the middle of the corner, dabbing his left foot a little bit. Now here comes the tire stack into the matrix.
Yeah, the matrix is not too bad, but it's going to get worse as the night goes on also.
Up and over the big log wall, now into the last tight right-hander, setting up for the firewood pit.
And let's see how he landed on his rear, but good job. He stayed on. Most people take both feet off, and then you're basically teeter-totter.
Did good job keeping one foot on there, but it was a little bit slower. He slots in at third out of 3, 50.720 for Apole. Up next will be the 15, Max Gerson. He did our track preview earlier today, and look at him. He's already having some fun. He's feeling good.
Oh, this guy's got a lot of energy. He's not shy. He likes to have fun. He's just a good person to be around. One thing I'm really happy for is him and Monica, they announced they have a first child on the way a couple weeks ago, that's when they announced it. So I'm really excited for them. Good people, and definitely someone I cheer for.
Picking up the pace right now, head up to the progressive finish line. The clock has started for the 15. Max Gersten from New River, Arizona, riding the Beta USA entry. He is 33 years old.
And you can see that tire. There's quite a few different lines. You could go way right, but it's going to be more abrupt, but it's shorter. So it's a tough decision. See how we talked about carrying that front end light? He did a great job at that one.
And it was really smooth over that tire stack double also as he goes through the Rocky Mountain Rock Garden.
He looks really good right now. These are, so far, it's like you probably wanted to double that, but if you know you ain't going to make it, it's better to be safe because, again, I think there's 6 good spots on this gate. And as long as you're up on those top 6, I think you have a great shot. That's a great angle of seeing how gnarly that section is.
There he goes, jumping that jump
that
right
was
there.
Good.
Only 2 guys were doing that in practice as he gets through the the firewood pit. Now he comes up to the progressive finish line. This looks like a really good lap. It's only second quick, though, 48.395.
Wow, actually, I honestly thought that was going to be the fastest because that looked really nice. I'm not sure where I maybe missed some times where he was a little bit slower.
Dabbing his foot a little bit. Here comes a former champion of our sport from Indian Hills, California, now lives in Colorado. He's doing it for a Rocky Mountain Yamaha. Number 2, Cody Webb.
He was 3rd fastest today in practice behind Johnny Walker and Tristan Hart, so he looked really good. He's got the big bore Yamaha, so I don't know if it's a 290 or 300, I'm not sure what it is, but this bike sounds good.
And he looks good out there, jumping up and over. It looked like he felt good all day today in practice.
And you can read somebody. He's got a flow. Trials guys aren't the best jumpers, and he's making the jumping look good. See how he just did a great job at leaning in that bike. His skills on the motorcycle are phenomenal.
Cody Webb, the big number 2, tiptoeing right here through this section. Puts the front end down now up into the tires, into the matrix. That was pretty smooth.
That was really nice. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I'm like, that was really nice he did that.
On the way down, the tight right-hander, pulling the front wheel, grabbing a handful, get your momentum through the logs.
Yeah, I like how he landed on that rear, so the power's getting back to the ground the quickest.
And up and over the progressive finish line. New quick time, 46.581 for Cody Webb. 46.581. That was good. Up next is the number 12 by Cooper Abbott from Surprise, Arizona. The CM Parts Fox Auto Team. Kawasaki made the switch to green this year.
Yeah, he's been riding it really well. He actually has a new motor. So he has a new motor for this weekend. He took a weekend off, did some testing, wanted a little bit more out of it. Has been looking really good on the bike, and he wants to be up front. So I know how aggressive he's going to ride this.
Did he get a lot of testing done in our off week?
Yeah, he spent a lot of time with quite a few of the top guys over in California even riding.
On the clock right now, the 12. Looks like a pretty good lap so far into the Rocky Mountain Rock Garden. Oh, no feet. Both feet were off the pegs right there.
Again, he did a great job.
There you go.
He saw that, and then overjumped that, but again, I think that was still faster than trying to roll both of those.
A lot of people try to jump as many things as they can as he jumps from the tire stack into the matrix.
Yeah, then that was nice. Did a great job, that jump over those rocks. Now the big thing here is carrying through that log section. Oh, that was good.
Bounced one of the fire logs out. Here comes to the progressive finish line. Will it be quick enough to take the top spot? Yes, it is. 46.521. New quick time by just a little bit.
0.06 of a second over Cody Webb. So that's not even much of a difference. And now, how about Colton Haker, who's rode the first practice on a 450, had some issues, decided to jump back on this 250. I wonder if we're going to see him on a 450 after this weekend. I'll be curious on what's going to happen there.
He just didn't. I don't think he was feeling that comfortable on that 450. He goes back to his 250. He's on a Kawasaki, and he's rode Husqvarna for the past few years and has won 5 championships. He's got something to prove tonight.
Yeah, he's aggressive. You can see him as the bike pushing there in the dirt. It's a little soft, but did a great job pivoting. So far, he's doing this whole section early on by far the fastest.
And he jumped into the Rocky Mountain Rock Garden and then double jumps right there.
Yeah. And that was a smart decision right there. He knew he didn't have the speed, so instead of dropping his front end, he actually wheelied to the second part on with the front end, but dropped his rear end in.
That bike's moving all over the place, but he's not letting off the throttle. This looks like a very quick lap. He goes around the one log that's already been kicked out. Here he comes to the finish line. A double, a triple, just taps that last one and up and over that finish line. New quick time is Colton Haker, 4.5.297, the first bike in the 45-second range.
He was loose. He was confident. I think that finishing third at round 3, he's got a lot of confidence coming into round 4 here.
Yeah, he wants to get back into his winning ways. Again, that's Haker, the 5-time champion, the winningest active champion that we have. Up next is the 513 Ryder LeBlanc. Besides Hart and Walker, this is the only guy that's won a moto so far this season.
Yeah, and he's been consistent, and that's something I maybe harped on him a little bit early on in the season, is he's been lacking consistency, and he's proved me wrong on this. Talking to him earlier today, he did say he wants to work on his sprint speed. So he worked on consistency, which I think is more important. It's kind of like Tristan Hart. He's super consistent, but I know he's been working on sprint speed, and let's see what he can do.
Carried a little bit of extra momentum going into that start or the finish line area right there, up and over the jump. Slides it into this one, goes over the second tire a little bit lower. It carries momentum into the rhythm section. It's the 513 Ryder LeBlanc, New Florence, Pennsylvania on the Rockstar Husqvarna.
Did a good job of pre-hopping that too. Really good job. You can see how much he uses his legs.
Oh, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, especially with this track, because not a lot of big mistakes for these top guys, and it's going to be hard to make up time. But if you make a mistake, you're not going to make it up. You got to be a little more patient. Again, there's 6 good spots. He just needs to be on that top 6, I think, to have a shot at getting the whole shot.
So far this season, it seems like as the night went on, Ryder LeBlanc got faster and faster. He did pick up that moto win last weekend in moto number 2 because he got through the traffic the fastest. Here he comes into the rhythm section across the progressive finish line. Oh, has a little issue right there going up to that jump too.
I'm not really sure what happened there. That's exactly.
7th for Ryder LeBlanc. He is not going to be happy with that. 6th, 49.518 for Ryder LeBlanc. He's in jeopardy. No, he's locked into that front row. I thought he's in jeopardy of losing that front row starting spot.
These two, how about this guy? He's won all 3 of the hot laps. Johnny Walker, number 22 on the Triumph, has looked phenomenal. He was 2 seconds faster than anybody today in practice. This guy, watch him on his rear wheel. I enjoy watching him ride. He's just fluid, uses less energy. He's kind of like a Lawrence to me. Just makes it look easy.
Really squeezing that motorcycle with his legs and his knees, and there he goes. He opens it up, lets the bike flow between his legs.
Yeah, there's times we squeeze and there's times we open it up in the rocks and sections like that firewood pit. We're really loose on the motorcycle.
He was jumping a few other jumps that nobody else was doing earlier today. Doesn't look like he's showing his cards just yet, maybe saving those for the moto.
No, I think he's pushing. I think he's still probably going to have the fastest one, but I think Tristan Hart's going to have a spot or a chance to beat him this year, especially the hot lap.
Here he comes, up and over that progressive finish line. New quick time, 44.466. The first rider in the 44-second range, Johnny Walker. Not quite as fast as they got into that practice session, but he's pretty dang close.
Yeah, I don't think he was super content because in his practice he looked really good. And this is a guy I know that wants a hot lap. So he didn't even worry about trying to ride to the side. He's taking advantage of riding a little bit of the track. See him how he bunny hops that, compresses the suspension, uses that clutch, RPMs, and then pretty much preloads the bike to get the log itself lighter.
The 2-time and defending champ and our current points leader, Tristan Hart from British Columbia on the FMF Red Bull KTM. Here he comes, picking up the pace. Double, triple, and over the progressive finish line jump. The clock is started for number 1, Tristan Hart.
He's been going on this inside tire here. He went to the second one. Usually he's been going to the inside. You can see the bike pushing, but now look how much he's using that weight of the balance, the legs, and working that motorcycle.
Landing smooth on the backside of that tire stack right there. Here he comes to the Rocky Mountain Rock Garden. Carry the momentum. Yes. Dancing around just a little bit. That was nice.
Oh, I think he wanted to double it. He was actually doubling that earlier today, but you saw his front end push. Again, these guys are smart enough to know they just don't want to make a big mistake. I don't know. This one might not be enough to beat Johnny Walker, but it's still a solid hot lap.
Nice through those rocks right there. Oh, both feet comes off the pegs right before you get that log right there.
I think he wants this one, and maybe wanted a little bit too much.
Trying a little too hard, maybe. Third place for Tristan Hart, 45.676. He won't be happy with that, but it doesn't pay anything extra to be quick time.
No, again, I think as we talked about the top 6, the top 5 guys, Walker, Haker, Hart, Abbott, Webb, Hensey, Gersten, LeBlanc, Thompson, and Apollo. Those are freaking really good riders.
What a lap out there. Quick time. Johnny Walker, 44.466. putting in a quick lap. Again, he's the only rider tonight on a 450. He started off the season on the 450, and Haker tried it earlier, but Johnny Walker on that 450 is quick time on that Triumph. Yeah, you see Tristan's talking over right there. He is not happy. For more with our quick time, here's Erica Allreed.
Johnny now 4 for 4 on hot laps this season. Where does that lightness and flow come from when you're out there alone against the clock?
It's just how I ride, you know. I try and be smooth and save as much energy. I think tonight's going to be a good night of racing. My lap wasn't as good as I wanted it to be then, but yeah, looking forward to getting the races underway.
And I'm looking forward to witnessing that if you say that lap it wasn't just quite how you wanted it.
Our pro motos in the gate is our vet riders, our veteran class riders, 35 years old and older. They're in the gate ready to go. Our points leader is Ray Amos. He got 6th in this heat race today. He's going to have to pick it up a little bit.
Yeah, and pretty much Ramo. Then we have Bobby Prochnow. I was going to talk about Wreck-It Ray, but Bobby Prochnow rode really well round 3 in Idaho. That's guy, he's been up there too. So there's a 3-way battle for that lead for sure. Eddie Finling from Germany, he's been riding really well also.
So the number 78 is Ray Amos. He's on that KTM. He is our points leader. Coming in second in the points is Gavin McCarthy. You just spoke of the 514 bike. Those two are very fast. The heat race winner was Prochnow on the 24. He's from Canada. They're locked in the gate right now. That's the IRC starting gate. The 32nd board is up. Rico will turn that board sideways. He'll walk off and the clutches will drop. And this is our first amateur main event of the night. Here we go. The smoke is coming. The clutches are coming out into the first obstacle. They got a pole, and then the first obstacle, 199, and Ray Amos, 199 right there is Finling from Germany.
He's been riding really well. I think he wants that. Look at him pushing. That's what's going to happen with these logs. It's going to make you push farther out.
199 in the lead through the Rocky Mountain Rock Garden. Now we can see the difference between the pro riders and the amateur riders. One rider has to go around the obstacle because somebody was right in front of him.
Yeah, that was smart. He waited. You know, there's no issue with that. He didn't take advantage of missing an obstacle.
Ray Amos, is he already trying to play for the points championship? Because usually he's up there battling for the lead. He's in second.
Yeah, but these guys are going to put on a good show because this is going to be about consistency. Like, that's one thing. Now this dreaded firewood pit, watch here. They're going to lose momentum and have a tough time right there.
Oh, there's Ray.
Ray Amos, and then as you saw the guys behind, they'd start leaning forward, which again is lightening that rear tire, which is giving them less traction. It's got reverse. You got to go back to get more traction.
I was just getting ready to ask you, how would you get out of that firewood pit?
And you can't be aggressive. So it is slippery, and a lot of those guys just give it a lot of gas. Guess what? If there's no weight on that, there's no traction. So it's about a smooth transition. It's about carrying momentum in and then kind of loading the bike. That's why we talk about weighting the pegs versus sitting on the seat where you can't really weight the bike any different.
It looks like we have a new leader. Prochnow out there, I believe, on the 24 is in the lead side. The 199 of Finling back to second. And here comes the third place battles heating up as well.
Yeah, and Gavin McCarthy, they have an EnduroCross track down in San Diego, an Alpine, called the Chocolate Mountain Ranch. That's where Tristan Hart, Ryder LeBlanc, Cooper Abbott, Max Gersten, they were actually practicing there earlier this week all together. So they have a great facility. A lot of the top amateur kids were down there practicing with the pros, which is a pretty cool experience for those guys to learn from them.
Good call. That was Gavin McCarthy out front. I thought it was Prochnow. Prochnow back in third, but he gets stuck in the, oh, there he goes. No, he's in second now. Where's Finling at? We lost Finling.
He got stuck in the firewood.
Okay, that's who it was. Now Ray Amos, Wreck-It Ray's back up to third.
And you can see how much it changes. That's why with EnduroCross, you could be in 5th place on the last lap and just stick with it because there's going to be a lot of carnage, and that's what's happening already.
We're about halfway through this one. 2 minutes down, 2 minutes to go, plus 1 lap. When that clock expires, the flagman throws the white flag. Look at Prochnow tiptoeing through the Rocky Mountain Rock Garden.
And Bobby Prochnow's going to race all the series with his wife. His wife actually races also, so she'll be racing later tonight also. It's a fun family sport. They have a lot of kids, and it's neat to see him back in the series because he's been a rider that has been on the podium before at a top 3 in the pro class before.
You know what? The gap for the lead is not that big anymore. He can see the leader. Does he have time to catch him?
Absolutely. With EnduroCross, it's about consistency, as we talked about. Again, he sat down there, but again, as the vet class 35 and older, our energy isn't what it used to be when we were younger.
I saw Wreck-It Ray going down in the on the log wall, so he's going to lose that third spot. He is our points leader coming into round number 4 here tonight.
And Gavin McCarthy being 36, we'll call him the young guy in this class.
I bet he'll appreciate that.
Yeah, I had 36. I would love to be 36 again.
Would you be out there right now?
I would.
In the pro class?
I was still racing pro at that class, but I raced the vet class towards the end, and I really enjoyed it. I love racing. I love this atmosphere. I love the spectators. It's just fun. I like a little bit of carnage and testing yourself mentally. And look at Gavin. He's looking really good on this motorcycle.
You can tell he spends a lot of time in that motorcycle.
Well, he gets to spend a lot of time with the top pros. So at his home track, in, like I said, in Alpine, California, he gets to ride with a lot of the top guys.
Gavin McCarthy from El Cajon, California, out front. Here comes second place Proc now, putting on a charge on the 24.
Yeah, I don't know if it's, it is white flag too. So this is the last lap. If Bobby's Procknell's going to have a shot at winning, this is the time he better start pushing, because Gavin McCarthy on the 514 is looking pretty darn solid.
Procknell wasn't able to jump the progressive finish line jump right there. Lost a little bit of time.
I did watch Procknell jump the finish line jump earlier today in practice, and I think it's a little safer not to jump it with him. I was with a few of the pros, and he's a good dude, so we enjoyed giving him a hard time about it, but he had a few scary moments.
Is he taking it easy right now because he knows he's in the lead, or is he just being patient?
I think he's being patient, and again, he's a smart enough guy. These guys are all veterans. These guys have raced plenty of, and he's already built up a nice lead. Right now, I'm already just thinking, please let me get through the firewood pit. Please let me get through the firewood pit.
Don't take a look back. He kind of looks over his shoulder a little bit into the firewood pit. He gets through it. But here comes second. He hangs on to it.
And that 1 to 2 second pause feels like 5 seconds.
And Gavin McCarthy taking the win. Proc now will finish up second on the 24. They've got a big gap back to everybody else.
Yeah, the 218 TJ Scrubs, he's been looking good, and I'm glad to see him. If he can pull this off, get maybe his first podium.
Here comes the rest of the gang finishing up over here. Round number 4. Redmond, Oregon, right here in the center of Oregon. There's Ray way back.
I'm not sure what happened to Ray. Maybe he got stuck somewhere again. You can see he tried to go through that crack, a little more technical there. But and the same thing, Eddie Finling coming through that firewood pit. Yeah, that's cool.
Finish it up.
Even where he's finishing, he's still stoked on that, and that's good. I love to see that. That's what it's about, going out there, having fun, enjoying the environment, enjoying the moment.
And here comes Wreck-It Ray. Again, here are your results. Gavin McCarthy, your winner. Bobby Procknow is second. TJ Screps is third. Finling, Ray Amos, and Jason Smith rounds out your top 6 finishers in the vet class. We'll send it down to Erica. She's with our winner.
Gavin, congratulations on that ride. As you were coming off the track and attempting to catch your breath, you said that one was fun, but tough.
Yep, exactly. This is a super fun track, a little more like motoable, makes for fun racing. I like it. It's fun but hard for sure. It's a long 4 minutes.
To say the least, congratulations on this effort.
All right, that was your winner right there, Gavin McCarthy. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Pro Moto number 1 is up next. Come back, Pro Moto number 1.
We come from all walks of life. We don't need a reason to ride, or even a destination. It's not what or where we ride that defines us, because no matter where we're headed, it's what happens along the way that makes us who we are. We may not know where the ride will take us, but one thing's for sure. With the Law Tigers, you never ride alone. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, America's motorcycle lawyers.
Welcome back to Slavin's Racing AMA EnduroCross Series presented by Progressive Insurance. The pro riders are locked in the IRC starting gate. Before we get started with Pro Moto number 1, it's time to check in with our pit side detective, Erica Allreed.
Thanks, Scotty. Johnny Walker has been silently battling a wrist injury this season ever since a pre-season crash. He's been riding with a tight wrist brace, and although it's helped with stability, it has given him major arm pump and has limited his movement. Now, after a much-needed weekend off to recover and reset, he finally feels he's to the point where he can ditch that brace. And with that, he said he is coming out swinging in this second half of the season, and we saw a glimpse of that in the hot laps. He has been in the fight every single round despite that small setback. So now I'm very curious to see what more he's able to bring to the table with that weight lifted and full freedom in his riding here tonight.
Destry, the way he's been riding all season, you would never have known that.
No, and winning the first 4 hot laps of this season so far, so he's showing he has the speed, and he's been consistent, but I watch him during the week. He's been down in Arizona, even on Instagram, social media. He's just been having fun. He doesn't even ride a lot of EnduroCross. He's just been having fun on the bike, and I think mentally he's in a good place. He's comfortable on the bike. He's having fun riding the 450 Triumph, too.
16 of the best off-road racers are in the IRC starting gate, getting ready to go. It's Pro Moto number 1. You want to finish good all 3 motos. Do you want to go out there and win every moto?
Oh, 100%. I think these guys are going to win every moto, but the downfall of winning this moto, meaning you're going to get the worst gate pick for Moto 2 because you're going to be starting reverse grid.
The bikes are getting set to go. The 30-second board is up. Your fast qualifier through the hot laps was Johnny Walker. Second fast was Colton Haker. Third was Tristan Hart. Keep your eyes on the 22, the 10, and the 1 bike. Who's going to grab the Achirby's whole shot? We're about to find out.
And this is a little bit of a longer start, so I think a 450, 350 are going to have the advantage over the 250 guys.
A little bit more horsepower, a little bit more torque. Here we go. The gate drops. Pro Moto number 1 is underway. The one on the inside, they're side by side. I give the advantage to the 513 of LeBlanc. If they're 3 wide over the tire stack.
Yeah, they're pushing. Look how much they're pushing. They're already hitting elbows. Elbows are sticking out. They're being aggressive, but you got to be smart right now and just get yourself up front. Tristan Hart has done that, Cooper Abbott, and then Johnny Walker.
Kind of wheelies over the logs in the side of that corner right here. Throwing a little roost at Cooper Abbott back in second. It looks like Walker's already into third, and here comes Max Gersten now into fourth.
And I think Johnny Walker on the 22 doesn't want to let Tristan Hart go. Look at him cutting inside. Tries to be a little aggressive with Cooper Abbott on the number 12.
And that's one of the few passing points we talked about earlier today.
There's not a lot of spots the pros have been talking about passing, but the problem is by doing that, if you can't make that pass, guess what? You're letting Tristan Hart build a bigger gap.
We'll see if Walker can get by Abbott. Right now, it is Tristan Hart, your Canadian 2-time and defending champion, out front right now, carrying the front wheel over the logs, acting like the logs aren't even there.
And look at Johnny Walker just carrying his front end around that, trying different lines, but you can see he has to get out of the main good line. And again, that's where we talk about another opportunity to pass right there, because if you're going to double, you got to set yourself up.
When you're following somebody, you're not going to pass them. So he was looking for a different line. It didn't work out through the rock garden.
Correct. And the one thing I was looking back at, Max Gersten, first 2-stroke guy so far, sitting in 4th.
Webb right now 5th, Haker in 6th, Hinsey, LeBlanc, and Apole, and Donner's up there rounding out your top 10 after that first lap. Over the progressive finish line, still in second right now. Cooper Abbott has his hands full. Walker's looking for a way around. Abbott's running a great race so far.
Yeah, but Johnny's not going to be too patient here soon. He's going to start getting aggressive because he can see how Tristan Hart is pulling away. He might cut it back under him. There he goes. That, and watch this guy through the rocks. So good. Even took a line away from Cooper, which was smart. He was clean. Double that, which we saw a couple of guys do in the hot laps, but not too many riders.
Maybe kind of screwed up Abbott's momentum there a little bit too at the same time. And Abbott gets out of shape over here, coming up the tire stack into the matrix.
And the thing is, that shows you how slippery everything is. These guys are riding the bike so well and so effortless, but consistency is going to be the huge one because these are longer laps. Again, there's not a lot of spots to race, But look at Johnny Walker already pulling away and trying to get back onto Tristan Hart on the number 1.
That was the fastest lap of the race the last time by, 4:05.577, almost a full second faster than Tristan Hart's lap.
Yeah, he's riding really well, and he's been riding out well at the first 3 rounds too. Cooper's got a nice flow going. He's got to work on breathing. Oh, look at up front already. Johnny Walker's caught Tristan Hart on the number 1.
Abbott right here in third on the Kawasaki. Gersten right behind him on the Beta.
And there's a pile from third back. There's a big group of them, but those top 2 are already checking out again.
LeBlanc shoves it up the inside of Webb, trying to take over that position.
Cooper doing a good job of using that rock to hop over the rest of them. And that's this section. Now you can see a little bit more of a line. Those guys are trying to get in that rut. So that's going to be a spot where they're going to try to stick into that one spot.
Oh,
Max
Gersten's
Gersten goes down.
There's Haker back here in the 5th position on the, no, he's now in 4th because Gersten went down. There you go.
Yes.
LeBlanc now in 5th on the 513 Husqvarna. Hart in the lead, Walker's in 2nd. As we go back to Haker now in 4th on the number 10 Kawasaki.
These guys are putting on a nice solid ride, not a lot of mistakes, so it's going to be hard. If you make that mistake like Max Gersten did, it's going to be hard to catch up because those guys need to almost make mistakes unless you're a Johnny Walker or a Tristan Hart and you have that pure speed to pull away. Colton Haker's looking really good. Like I said, he's been riding the 450 for the last week and a half. Rode first practice on it, but had some issues and now has jumped on the 250. A little bit of a kicker there over that little step over too.
There is your leader, the 1 by Tristan Hart. He's keeping things going. He just has a 2-second lead now. Johnny Walker, after he got by Abbott, has slowly kind of gained some time. Now he's in the screen.
And again, look how he's the only one doubling in on that section. He's got that horsepower, that 450. Tristan Hart is on a factory edition 350, so that bike has plenty of power. But again, these two have set themselves apart, and they both want to get a win right now.
Lap riders just ahead of the 1 of Tristan Hart. Here comes the 22, Johnny Walker from England. Coming towards the progressive finish line. We're past the halfway point. The pros go 6 minutes plus 1 lap. They are very long laps, so maybe a few less laps than what we've been running the first 3 rounds, but they're longer laps, which means no time to rest.
Correct. Longer laps are more fun. Like as far as like, it's a lot easier. If you have short little 25, 30-second lap times, it seems like forever. So these guys are riding probably maybe 2 laps left, I would guess. Johnny Walker doubling over that, but you can see how harsh that landing is. So again, his wrists must be feeling pretty good to want to try to do that move.
Just like you said earlier in the hot laps, the suspension is set up for rocks and poles and stuff like that. It's not necessarily set up for those great big hard landings when you overshoot something.
Well said. I would rather actually set it up like Tristan Hart made a little mistake there. But again, you saw him weight his pegs. I would rather have my bike working really well over the logs, the rocks, the firewood pit. But Walker's, no, you're good. Walker is loose on that motorcycle.
Well, I was going to say, he got all kinds of out of shape before that finish line and still jumped the progressive finish line jump.
Yeah, Nico Piazza getting lapped there. Good, smart move. Just get out of the way, especially with the leaders. But look at Tristan Hart coming up on 2 other riders. They might be in that hot line that he wants, but Johnny Walker making a mistake on the 22.
Walker's been going a different line through the Rocky Mountain Rock Garden. I don't think it's faster. He'll go back there and figure it out.
Right. Man, I'm surprised he's still doing that double down because that you can see his head snap on that. That's for having issues with his wrist, that's a pretty hard landing.
I think that means his wrist is okay.
Yes, and that's good to see him not wearing the wrist brace. That means he's getting more confident, especially after this. We have 2 rounds left.
Checkered flag is out. Your winner's Tristan Hart.
I think it's white flag.
No, that's the white flag.
Yeah.
It looked like the checkered flag. 1 more lap to go for Tristan Hart.
I think Tristan would rather see that as a checkered flag.
I thought it was. Hart over the big double jump. He's got a pretty big lead again. I think he got through lap traffic a little bit easier.
Yeah, but again, now look at this next section. There's 4 riders coming up on him, or he's coming up on 4 riders.
Tristan Hart on the Red Bull KTM out in front. Johnny Walker on the Triumph. I don't know if he's going to catch those lap riders. If he does, it might be in that firewood pit. That might be bad news.
And I think Tristan Hart's going to have to make a mistake. Again, Tristan Hart is so consistent, just really smart mentally, physically, and right here, he's just taking his time. We talked about that. Just smooth. He wasn't trying to be aggressive through that.
Checkered flag is out right there, and your winner, Tristan Hart, on the Red Bull KTM. Here comes Johnny Walker, 2nd place. I know he wants a win, but 2nd's better than where he started off the main event, number 1.
And early on, the 2nd is almost like a win. So that's a nice ride. I'm curious to see who's pulling in 3rd and 4th because there's some great battles back there also. And, Tristan Hart being the points leader, it's nice. to pull off a win on Moto 1.
Cooper Abbott across the line in third. Colton Haker fourth. Ryder LeBlanc rounding out your top 5 on the Rockstar Husqvarna.
And that's a solid top group right there. Cody Webb, who's like third fastest in earlier practice today. Max Gersten on the 2-stroke, Braxton Hinsey, Tim Apollo, Nick Thompson rounding out our top 10.
Hinsey on that Fantic finishes up in 8th. Some more riders still finishing things up. That is Pro Moto number 1. When they come back out next time, they invert the field. So if you got last in that one, you'll be the first pick and be on the front row. It'll pit the fastest 8. The 8 top finishers will be on row number 2 for that second moto. That's going to be hard work. Now, we will send it to our winner. Tristan Hart is with Erica.
Tristan, wire to wire in that one, but coming off the track and asking you how that race was for you, you said you were tired and you were still attempting to catch your breath right now. What does that tell us about this track?
It's just no breaks out there. It's just constant, and had a weird crash earlier today. I got like a tennis ball on my forearm right now that is not feeling super good, but I'm glad I manned up, went out there and put on a show for you guys and hopefully enjoy the rest of the night.
Pushing through the pain here in Moto 1.
Tristan Hart doing what he does. He's the 2-time and defending champ for a reason. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, our novice main event is up next.
At Enduro Engineering, relied upon by 8-time Pro Women's EnduroCross champion Shelby Turner. We are Enduro Engineering.
At Slavens Racing, we don't chase trends. We chase trails, testing and tuning with the same parts we carry. Every product we touch is built to go the distance. Slavens Racing, real riders, real performance.
Your new bike is officially protected by America's #1 motorcycle insurer. You can now safely go wherever the wind takes us. That's right. It was one of those books that smelled bad, but in a good way, you know?
No, man.
Oh.
Didn't think this through, did you?
No? You go without me. The owner and I aren't on speaking terms. Apparently the refills are limited.
Okay.
It's not okay.
For more than 50 years, Kicker has been rocking the planet on anything that moves.